everything just kind of kicked in once I got to Jackson. And I got into photography pretty much without knowing it because I grew up around my brother doing it a lot. And I guess I just picked up on stuff not even knowing what he was doing. Coming out here and just being with myself and the Tetons and Yellowstone and Jackson, it's really helped me out, I guess, to understand myself and who I am, in a sense. The Tetons themselves, they're just so massive. Like, when you're in front of them, you'll see pictures of it, and the ones I take I love them, but when you're right in front of the Tetons, you just can't believe that this humongous, massive mountain range just came out of the ground. And when you're looking right in front of it, you see the flatness of where you're at, and then out of nowhere, they just come out. I think that's just gorgeous, that's just beautiful. Jackson is, if you've never lived in a seasonal town, you don't understand the diversity and the variation that it gives. There's people that live here in the summer and go away for the winter. There's people that come only for the winter and they go away for the summer. There's people, I have a friend who works at the ski lift because he loves to snowboard and ski. So in the winter, all he does is work at the ski lift because there's where he wants to be anyway. And then in the summer, he works at a sub shop over here making sandwiches. And that's kind of what you do when you want to live here in Jackson year-round. You adapt to the environment. I was lucky enough to find a job that's open year-round. Maybe in November we close down. April is also off-season, so that's when everything changes and you can find jobs. You look in the paper, 4 pages of help wanted ads everywhere, all the time. This whole year, the paper has always been wanting help. So the problem here isn't finding a job, it's finding a place to live.
I think a lot of the housing issues stem from the fact that we used to have more of an off-season and people would leave after the summer or after the winter, and then apartments would open up and homes would open up. But people have started to stay longer, they're not as seasonal, and that has created a big problem for Teton County. The people we see at Community Resource Center are people that have been involved in our community for a number of years, and the homeless situation is pretty much out of control.
First time I ever stayed in my car. The first night, I kept a low profile, and like I said, I was nervous, and kind of not trying to draw attention. It was a little bit cluttered. I didn't know if I could do it for a long time, but it felt like I was in this little cocoon, and it wasn't as uncomfortable as I thought it was going to be. I guess it was exciting. I was nervous too. I didn't know if the police were going to come and knock on the window or look in there. It's kind of dark, so you can't see it, but I mean, if I have my computer on or some light kind of come on, they can see that I'm in there. So I was a little worried, so I kind of stayed low in the car. I ended up getting used to it, not worrying so much about it, especially after I started finding out I wasn't the only one kind of pulling the move. And then not too long ago, they finally said on the paper that it was okay to live in your car. I did get kind of sad. I cried a few times just thinking how long I was gonna be like this. And it does hurt a little, especially if you talk to somebody that doesn't really understand what's going on in Jackson. To anybody else, where I'm from, that's kind of like hitting rock bottom. It got easier with time.
Our situation in Jackson has worsened. I've been here now for 32 years. When I first came, we were having a housing crisis. And when we started doing our first comprehensive plan in 1990, there was a lot of discussion, and at that time we identified that workforce housing was a concern. For years, the people that came to Jackson to work our seasonal jobs were people just getting out of college, and they hadn't started their career yet, and they wanted to do something that was different. And we have a lot of great recreation here, a lot of adventure-based recreation. So they would come to Jackson for whatever season it was, whether it was the summer season or the winter season, and just work for the season. They had no intention of necessarily staying. And we always had enough of those to fill the jobs that were available. But then it started to change.
Land here is limited because of the elk refuge and everything else, so things are just going up. The things that do go up around town are extremely, just too much for people like me that are just trying to work and live here.
Tourist-based economy is not going away anytime soon. In fact, what's happened is we become more well-known for the recreation that we have in Teton County. So the increase in tourists coming to our community has resulted in us wanting to have more businesses to meet that demand. So more businesses started, there was more businesses starting up, businesses increasing, but our housing did not increase at the same rate. In fact, the land started becoming so much more valuable that every time the land turned over, it was more money. And so eventually what we've done is we've outpaced ourselves. So the workers have increased. At the same time, the rent or the land value has increased, and our demand for the tourist-based economy has increased. And we've ended up now with kind of a perfect storm. We have all this need for housing, but we have not kept pace with providing the housing.
I'm able to really do this more because it's just me. All I have to worry is about myself. And if they're having a hard time as a family finding a place, I mean, that just shows you how much more investment needs to go into figuring out how this crisis can help people like that. I mean, I wish they would find something to help me, but since it's just me, I just deal with it as it goes, you know, day by day. But if families are having to do that as well, then that just shows you how desperate some people are getting to trying to live here in Jackson. It's just that, I don't know about that. That's really tough.
We've tried in the past to tie up a couple of motel rooms in town, in the lower end motels, obviously, and if the need arises, then we can put people in there until we figure out a plan for them. You know, if they have family somewhere else, we help them move on to family somewhere else. But if they're a member of our community, we'd like to keep them here. We've tried to work with a number of landlords, and some have been great and helpful and understand their tenants' situations where others don't. And that's just the nature of the beast. You're going to have that anywhere, unfortunately.
I guess if there was more places providing that kind of help, that would help a lot. I don't really know where to start, but if you start talking about it and you start asking questions and kind of pressuring the town, the mayor, and to see what can be done. So the more that it's heard from us that something needs to be done, hopefully something can be done.
for our community, we have to figure out that everybody is valued the same. That until we start really valuing the people that make our community a true community, we're going to have some issues. And it will get worse instead of better. The traffic is going to get worse instead of better. And our middle class is going to be gone. And we are no longer going to be the community that made us what we were. All classes working together, everybody caring about each other, but again, going back to everybody knows about each other. Everybody knows about the struggles that exist. But most importantly, that there are people who can make a difference, who are willing to work hard at it so that we can make a difference.
I think it's just becoming more of the norm, that it's not astonishing. You have a job, but you live in your car. It's just what you do. You want to enjoy the Tetons.